Welcome to the Eagle Eye Podcast, the #1 show to bring you all things Club America and English.
Oh, what a strike! Club America!
Your hosts for today are Ivan Pineda, Cristian Rosendo, Alexis Juarez, and everyone's favorite cowboy, Dylan Jimenez. Goal! Now let's hit the field and start the show.
America!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Eagle Eye Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about all things Águilas in on this side of the stream, and we're going to be talking about the unbeaten run still, as America and Solari's team continue the quote-unquote unbeaten run, and we'll talk about the game against León, the draw that was there not a robo in Guanajuato? We'll get into that, and then of course we're going to be talking transfer rumors, updates, and all that good stuff. Because I lied to all of you and I told you the transfer window ends tomorrow, when in reality we still have more than 3 to 4 weeks to sign potentially more than one player. But Christian will get you guys all caught up with that as well. And then finally, to top off the episode, we'll have you guys covered for everything going on in and around the Clasico Nacional in Dallas for this upcoming weekend. We'll have you guys more information in regards to that aspect. But as always, joining me today is none other than Christian Rosendo and Brooklyn's very own AJ. Gentlemen, how are we tonight?
Doing pretty good, Ivan. Thank you. I hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Heading into the international break, I think we should be, optimistic going into the kind of the second half of the season, so-called undefeated record, tied being the best defensive team in the league. There's some good things to take away from this first half and some bad things. But we'll get into it a little bit later, though. So, just excited about tonight.
Definitely. Some very exciting topics to be discussed, and we'll see what happens. AJ, how are you, my friend?
Doing good. Just covered the America Femenil match not too long ago. 2-0. We move.
Definitely. We'll move on. Anyone who wants to hear more about that, you guys can tune in next Lady Aguila episode, which is going to be coming this Thursday. You guys can catch up to date everything going on in and around the world of Lady Aguilas. But again, they continue their good run of form as well. But let's talk about a little bit about the men's side of things. Quote unquote, still undefeated after 7 jornadas. Let's talk about the matchup that just happened against León in Guanajuato. Gentlemen, we came into this one a little bit skeptical as to how we were going to be maybe potentially playing against this León side. I don't know. I felt we were very flat. I don't know if that's the correct statement, Christian. I just felt that we just weren't all there. I mean, to top it off, Solari's starting 11 just wasn't the indicator that we said, oh, yeah, we're definitely going to come out here and win this game, you know?
Yeah, no. So, a couple points here. I think that America, well, in general, I think the game just started off very, very frantic for both sides. I think both sides were a little careless in the midfield and in their back line, kind of exposing themselves a little bit. I think after both teams get their goal, the game kind of just dies down. I think they just start respecting each other a little bit more. But let's just tone it down back a little bit. I think America had a good start actually to the game. I think I like the way they started off, not really being scared of León and what they possess. I think they just wanted to go out there and play their game, and ultimately it leading to a penalty for America, which 100% was a penalty. And it was beautifully taken by Aguilera, even though I'm not gonna lie, I did have a candle lit up before he did take it, so I think that helped.
Yeah, same.
So it felt good being up 1-0 in León away. It looked like we had everything under control, and then even after the goal, I still thought that we were playing a good game, and you kind of felt like, okay, this is the America we want to see, pushing even after we have the lead. I think it was something new to us because we never had the lead this early before. Unfortunately, a really, really bad mistake by Richard Sanchez, leads to a takeaway from León and a beautiful counterattack by them. Ultimately, a bad defensive play by Fidalgo. I think we'll see it on this play right here. He kind of just bites into the feint a little bit too hard, and opens up a very large space for the León player to kind of just given a nice 50 pass in for the goal. Nothing Ochoa can do there, obviously. And it just seems like that defensive mistake really just cost us the whole game. I really feel like if we would have just kind of kept it 1-0 throughout the whole half, or even potentially gone up 2-0, this game could have been completely different, and we could have been talking about something else. But it's just things like that, and we've seen it throughout the whole game too. Very imprecise, decision making after that Richard Sanchez mistake by almost everyone on the team, and it just seemed like it kind of deflated everyone, and it was very weird to see because normal players that we don't see making these mistakes are making them, and it just led Leon to grow in the match. Thankfully, didn't cost us too much, but definitely something that Slot is gonna have to clean up when we come back from the international break.
For a second, I was thinking, did Christian watch the wrong game, AJ? Because I did not agree when he said that this is probably the best game we've played so far. And reality is that I did not see a good America side out there. I
The
felt that we were
the
very
start of
sloppy
it
on the
was
ball.
the start wasn't
Not even
bad.
the start. I don't even
The
think
Nah,
the
start
start was good.
the
the
start
start
start was good. We
the
had our
I
start was
didn't
chances.
I didn't
good.
like it. I thought
The
that we were
start was
very
good,
much.
AJ. Right, AJ, you agree with me? The start
We
was good.
had
The
Ivan. We
start was
had
good.
so
The
many
first,
chances. We were attacking
yeah,
them.
literally like right before the Leon goal, America. I mean, that was all America, all
Mhm,
America. It
mhm.
was after the goal, but yes, then I agree with you, Ivan. Everything just went downhill,
Yeah,
and it just seemed like we couldn't just come back into the game. 100%, I agree
Even
with
at
you
the
there.
start of things, there was Leon was pressing high, and I felt that America just got a little bit lucky here and there with their passing, but they were forcing mistakes, and I just didn't like how no one felt too comfortable on the ball. You saw that there wasn't really an intention to try to split a pass. There was always so much things being forced down the middle. I don't know. It was a pretty good start, but I think it's because Dylan saying right here, I thought the start was good too until Leon's goal. I don't know. I
I
think
agree.
it was
100%, I
because
agree.
Leon also came out too searching for their thing, which gave us the spaces to open up and try to find something. Which again we capitalized on none of them because Argo had to come via penalty. But I don't know. You're right. After we score the goal though, it seems like it starts getting more flatter. And then the second half, I just felt that this was again not the America side that we wanted. I don't know. I just felt that there was too much imprecision, too much sloppiness, um, a lot of back passing at times. Leon kept their shape, and their plan was simple: just catch them on the counter whenever they can and press them as high as possible to force a mistake. They know Emma Aguilera is not the best sometimes, which by the way he surprised me. I thought he had probably one of his best games in this match.
He was
You
probably the
know,
best defender there.
yeah, held the defense very well. I saw him make some really, really good passes with his left foot, which I was like, I didn't even know he could use his left foot. Um, but yeah, it's a weird game whenever you say Aguilera is probably one of your best players.
100%. But I don't know. I think this after the Leon goal, it just seemed like you said, Ivan. I think America was just a little bit more non-creative going forward. I felt like okay, now it's 1-1 again. Now we don't have the lead, so now we got to be even more careful. And then that's where you see just the lateral passing and not really the forward passing that we want to see. Um, and that just doesn't it just it's not good with us, right? We want to see the more forward passing players like Gordon and Fidalgo. I think didn't really do what they were asked to do in this game, and they were somewhat quiet from me. And I said it in the last podcast. This was Fidalgo's game to kind of show us why he is a creative person, and it just seemed like he couldn't get anything going this night.
Yeah, nothing at all, and I think that was the more kind of frustrating thing about all of this. And I mean, he's not the only person to signal out, of course,
Of
course,
course
right?
not. No,
Because
there is
you
half
know,
the squad single out.
um, he I think Chris says it perfectly here. He says, "Well, way too many spaces given to us. Rogers should have started, in my opinion. I think it's time we talk about Henry being benched. He has shown nothing from what he did in the Olympics, and you know what? I, to some extent, I think I do agree. He's been very flat in regards to creating chances. I mean, he caused a couple of mistakes, right? He had that great opportunity that just kind of falls to him a little bit awkwardly when the goalkeeper's right there, the defender's right there as well. Tries to like just toe poke it past Cota, and just doesn't really get anywhere. But he's still doing a lot of the off the ball stuff really well. Which again, it's so hard to take into consideration whenever you're not really focusing on the player himself. I do think though Roger would have opened up this game a little bit more, which I was a little bit upset that he came on as late as he did. But then again, taking consideration everything that the game was going on, the red card that Richard Sanchez got, which by the way I think was non-existent. But again, we're not here to get into the debacle of whether or not the refs did the right thing or not. Gotta just kind of call it how it is. But I don't know. The first half was all right in my opinion. The second half was what let me down the most.
Well, I think just because of the red card, I think everything just kind of went downhill. Even when we came out, like you said, before the red card, I think I agree with you there. We just didn't come out like I think we needed to come out. I think Leon just kind of kind of took advantage of it, just saying, okay, we're gonna come out hot and let's see what happens. And credit to them, they did. But another thing that I think I just want to touch on real quick is I think we had about 3 counterattacks, and all of them resulted either in us getting the ball taken away or a bad pass. And two out of the 3, we could have scored a goal. Now I don't know if we practiced counterattacks enough, but it just seemed like every single player involved in that counterattack was lost. They did not know where to go. They did not know when to ask for a pass. They did not know how to open up. Everyone just seemed all congested in the middle.
Bunched up, yeah.
And it was the most annoying thing to see, knowing that you had a 3v4, you could have opened up, passed it to the outside, and opened up another space, and it just didn't happen. You were either too late to react or you got the ball taken away from you, and I just don't know why caliber players like Richard Sanchez, Córdoba, Fidalgo, Henry Martin, all those players couldn't understand to move around and just create something more dangerous of that counterattack.
That's the real question, AJ. I mean, you got the pleasure of being able to cover this game for us. I mean, what did you see?
Disappointment, really. Just feel like we didn't really take this game seriously. We just felt like, let's go for the draw. I feel like Christian mentioned, we just respected each other. I mean, throughout this entire game, I feel like it was a tale of 2 halves. Good first half until that Leon goal happened, and from there on out, it was just painful to watch. Just every player just seemed were not informed, really. Yellow cards left and right, which I felt like also just stopped us from really being too aggressive, because knowing what happened to Richard Sanchez, any other player was not going to try to risk it and get themselves red card as well in this match. So it's terrible to see. And just, we got completely dominated in possession, which was not good to see. Especially when America said we're so possessive, and Leon had the most possession out of us. So
yeah, I don't think this team was able to cope and adapt with that. And you know what? I think Leon got under our skin. The reality of it is they kept fouling our players. They kept interrupting our play. And it felt like the players just were frustrated at the fact that they couldn't play their game, because at any moment, Leon would take one down, take another player down, take another player down. And, I understand the frustration. You're getting hit, time and time again. And the mental aspect of it, I think, paid dividends for Leon, because we weren't really our sharpest. I mean, you mentioned it, Christian, that you saw a lackluster Fidalgo. You saw, again, a Cordoba that did nothing for the entirety of the time that he was out there on the pitch. You saw Henry Martin that, again, looks less than half of what he showed in the Olympics. A Pedro Quino that, whilst he maybe had one of his best game last week, this game didn't actually even show up to that extent,
Exactly.
So, like I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, when you're talking about Emmanuel Aguilera as one of your best players on the pitch, that's got to tell you something about everything else and everyone else. I mean, Richard Sanchez, I thought, was his worst game in an America jersey this season,
No, and also, like I said, I think you hit on at the beginning of the review, the lineup. It didn't make sense to me. This like you said, this was a game for Linus. This was a game for Roger Martinez. The chemistry that Linus and Reyes were building, I think you could have did a little something more dangerous on the left side.
This was a George Sanchez game, by the way.
And 100%. And listen, it's just I think Solari got it wrong. It's the man can't get everything right, but I think this one he did get wrong. I honestly think this is a game for Jorge Sanchez, a game for Mauro Linus. Even though I really don't think highly of him this season, I think he could have done a little bit more than what Reyes provided on the wing. I think they just work better when they intertwine with each other. They're just building that chemistry that I think would have served us wonders here. And then Roger Martinez, I think he would have just been a headache in a half for Leon. Even when he came on, he was taking on 3 to 4 defenders by himself. And imagine what he could have done with the full 90. So and like you said, listen, this is the game for Venus too. Like I said, this is the game to outmuscle them. Venus would have been your guy. Venus would have been the one being all annoying in the box when crosses were getting to them. Um, I really think Salah needs to look at his squad and make sure you pinpoint who is the better player for the night. And I think this night, I don't think he got it right. You give or take here are some players, and I think we could have put out a better performance.
This kind of felt more of we're here to make sure we don't lose type of game from America, at least from the lineup perspective of things, right? I don't necessarily think Solari's message was, all right, guys, let's hold for a point. I think it was very much so like, let's go out there, let's try to win, but, let's also try to be as conservative as we can be in the back. Which again, yeah, I think paid dividends because we only conceded that one goal, which, by the way, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if George Sanchez is there, we don't concede that goal. Because I feel like he
I
tracks
don't
a little bit
know.
more back. Fidalgo's not so much in that position, or maybe
Yeah, I
Fidalgo is
mean,
in that
it was
position,
just
but George still tracks back a little bit faster than Layun. Oh, by the way, Layun, again, terrible game. The man was all over the pitch.
terrible.
I don't even know if he understood what you are playing right back today meant, because there was times where he was just drifting towards the middle while Leon were attacking.
Not
Like,
making
what are you
passes
doing?
correctly. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was frustrating to watch. Very frustrating to watch. Also, I think this is probably the worst game in Luis Fuentes this season.
I didn't have so much a problem with Luis Fuentes, to be honest.
My man was getting.
Obviously, he was getting cooked on on his side because obviously he doesn't have the pace, right?
My man was getting destroyed. So, oh my goodness, it was
But
not
I
a good
think
look.
I think overall his positioning was okay. His passing was all right. I just felt that he was always set up to fail in this game.
Understandable.
But again, look, at the end of the day, we come out here and we'll criticize the game for what it is, but in hindsight, AJ, is this maybe a blessing in disguise? Is a point definitely something to, walk away out of Leon and say, you know what, this is actually maybe possibly a good result?
I mean, we're still undefeated, so there's that. So I mean, hey, if we didn't lose, but we didn't
And by the
win.
way, we still are the best defense in the league.
Only
next
three
to
goals
next to
conceded.
Atlas.
That's what was.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know where the Lines Up podcast thought that they were going to score 3 on us.
I told you guys, and they all laughed at me.
Well, we all agreed. I was like, you guys are not getting past 3
They're
on, I
not
guess.
getting 3. I mean, it was
Uh,
listen. Credit to them. Credit to them thinking very adventurous, but we all knew they were
Yes.
getting 3. Come on.
Emma Aguilera would not allow that to happen.
They couldn't even get 1 when we had 10 men. They didn't even get 3. Come on.
When we had 11. Yeah. No, I did think so. Chris Rivera saying, I think y'all got them hyped. That's why. And maybe so. Maybe we rattled them a little bit, and so they decided to come on and, get them on here. But I mean, overall, is there anything else that we could take away from this game?
I just think that it's I don't like saying that a point is a good result, but considering how everything went and considering being down a man for about 30 minutes, the point will suffice for now. And to AJ's point, we're still the best defensive team. We're still the league leader heading into the break. There's stuff to work on, of course, because the harder games are upon us. Like that. This is it. We're in it. This is the start of the.
Yeah, we're in
games.
it. We're deep neck into it. Yeah,
We're in it. We're in it now. So there's definitely time to build up upon. Hopefully, I know it's going to be a miracle, and it probably will not happen, but hopefully there is some sort of transfer coming in that we can kind of base it off, and then work our way to a better squad going forward. But as of right now, I think we're okay with the point. And it's just for Solari to kind of have some homework to do to see what the best 11 is when you have your 11 guys there, or when you have your full squad available there.
and let's be honest, it's a lot of games that were played in August. Like, this squad had to go through so much games in such a short spell of time. I mean, you're talking from God, the I don't even know what jornada it was before the Champions League, and then you had doble jornada afterwards, and then you had some players had to go to the All-Star game. So that's a lot of Wednesday matchups. That's a lot of traveling. That's a lot of back and forth. We had two consistent away games with Juarez and can't remember the other one. Was it Atlas? I don't know, but it's a lot of wear and tear on these players. Which, by the way, they're not really gonna get a break. Some of these guys are going on international duty. They gotta go and play some more competitive matches, and the rest that aren't are have to fly out to Dallas and play a friendly against Chivas, right?
Yeah.
And we'll
I
we'll,
mean, I
we'll
hope
talk
this is
about
the
that in
time
just a
where
second.
I think so. I just kind of just see who else is available for the squad. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's it's gonna be tough, and squad depth is gonna be so important because, like you mentioned, Christian, we're in the nitty gritty part of it now. Like points right now are gonna be extremely vital,
Yeah.
extremely vital, and so it's how America manages these next couple of matches that I think is important because let's face it, Clásico Nacional is in what after the international break, 2 weeks from now,
Yeah.
three
So
weeks,
we have the
excuse me.
international break. Then we have, I think, Toluca, then Philadelphia, then Chivas, if I'm not mistaken. AJ, can you confirm that, please?
It's Philadelphia first, then Toluca, then Chivas.
Yeah.
Wait, so what do we play after the break then? Like, who's our next game?
Mazatlan.
Um.
We
Yeah.
got Mazatlan.
Mazatlan.
There you go. That's the one I was missing. Okay. All right.
That's got to be a 3-pointer and hopefully a goal fest because America needs goals
So
drastically, like
Mazatlan, Philly,
drastically.
Toluca, Chivas,
Huh?
right? That's how it is. AJ,
In the
Mazatlan.
league, yeah. Mazatlan, Toluca, Chivas. That's
Right.
how it's
Okay.
going. By the way, we're going.
With the little Philly sprinkled in there.
Yeah, with a little Philly sprinkled in there, just to season things up. But
Okay.
I don't know.
Bless
It's gonna be
you.
interesting.
Gracias.
Salud. But look, that does it. America ends up getting the point away on the road in Guanajuato, and like we mentioned, hopefully at the end of the day, it's more of a good point rather than 2 points dropped. We'll see how it ends up, but like we mentioned, food for thought. Solari said that he enjoyed the game. He thought it was a good back and forth match. I don't know if he was watching the same game as we were,
I think he just had to
or
get
he
the
was
point
just trying to
from them.
save face, you know. But hey,
We'll see.
we'll
Okay.
see what happens. But yes, so that pretty much does it. America again sits at the top of the table right now with a total of how much? AJ, 17 points.
We got 17 points.
There we go, 17 points, 3 goals conceded, best defense tied with Atlas. And who would have thought we would be here in first place after all these matches?
Me.
I like it. I like it, Christian. I thought we'd be in like second, to be honest. But hey, I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. Like AJ just mentioned, we move. And talking about moving, we'll talk about some players that are officially going to be leaving the club for this upcoming season. Maybe a potential signing or two, and more players that are down because of injury. And Christian will have all the latest updates in regards to that aspect. But before we move on, I want to remind everyone that today's episode is brought to you guys by Footcall. And if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys go check out footcall.com. They have some amazing products, and they have just dropped some amazing concept over on Twitter. And if you guys want to follow them, go follow them at Footcult. And you guys want to use the discount code EEP at checkout to get 10% off all Footcult products. Again, discount code EEP at checkout to get 10% off all Foot Cult products. Again, thank you to Foot Cult for sponsoring today's episode. All right, gentlemen, go up on news, and it's oddly enough been a very busy news day in Coapa, Christian. We have confirmation of Nicolas Benedetti moving out of the club. We have Renato Ibarra, who is officially out for a good chunk, if not the rest of the season, and potentially not one, not two, but maybe 3 signings coming on for America, seeing as how we also got rid of Nicolas Castillo. So a lot of stuff here to kind of unfold, and I'm curious to see what Christian has in store for us in regards to all these transfer news, all these movements, all of this. So Christian, what do you have for us?
All right then. So yeah, let's start off first with the departure. So yes, it's been a busy week. Been a busy week, and about I think it was exactly last week. We found out that Nico Castillo will be going on loan to Brazil. I think this is a great move for everyone. We free up a foreigner spot, and for Nico Castillo, he gets to play again. This loan will be just until December. He'll be back with us in January. So best of luck to him. I know a lot of people, were wishing this upon him. For me, I just hope that he just gets back to playing, and hopefully to a level that that's manageable. That's presentable to everybody. It's gonna take some time. Obviously, in these 6 months, hopefully, he can kind of gain back some confidence, and we'll go from there. But 6 months in Brazil for Nico Castillo. That's that. The kind of news today was Nicolas Benedetti, like you mentioned. So there was rumors about this 3 weeks ago that Benedetti was going to go to Mazatlan. It just seemed like Mazatlan wasn't really interested in it just yet, just because number wise. But it seemed like today they made some great advancements, and I think it's 99% closed that Benedetti will be going to Mazatlan on the loan. Um, it seems like it's a loan with an option to buy. So I don't know the exact number of the option to buy. But in terms of how the thing is structured, I don't think I'm a fan of it. Not just because I like Benedetti as a player. It's just that with depending on that number, it just seems like, I think you kind of invested on a player like him, and then just if the number is not right, then it just doesn't make sense to me. So we'll have to see what the final numbers are. But for me, I think it's important for Benedetti to go on loan and just get more playing time, because obviously Solari's not to his liking. So best of luck to him. Obviously, you guys know how I feel about Benedetti. I think that he would have made a great impact if healthy, but unfortunately, that's not how everyone sees it. So hopefully he kind of regains his confidence and his level back in Mazatlan. That's that. Those are the two departures, and when that gets confirmed, that'll open up another foreigner spot for America. Something that I even didn't think that we were going to get, and here we are now with two foreigner spots open. Um, and look at this now, Renato Ibarra, registered, had a goal against Tijuana. The very next day, he is going into surgery. This
Yeah.
has been a lingering injury, and it only got worse. An tackle, I think, that he received in the Tijuana game. He was set to get surgery, then declined surgery because he wanted a second medical opinion. It's become a whole roundabout, and but just know that he won't be playing with us for the rest of the season. So Renato Ibarra is once again out of the count. So no more Renato Ibarra for the rest of the season. It was a good 5 minutes of him, and we'll see him in January. So that's that. In terms of incorporations and signings, Jurgen Damm. No, there is no contact with him. There has not been
Oh
contact
God.
with him in the recent weeks.
I
Um,
swear, if I gotta make a Jurgen Dam graphic, I'm done.
okay, but listen. But here's the scary news though. The name is on the table. But it seems like they're not going that route though. They want to explore other options. He is more like of a option E, F, G kind of guy. They have other
God, he
names
better be an
that they
option
want to
X.
explore. They did in fact reach out to him, I think, a month ago. It just seems like Atlanta didn't want to get rid of him just yet. So the name is on the table, but it's not an option that they're pursuing right now. Take with that what you will. And then I guess the big one today, I'll just get it out of the way because it's kind of annoying me a little bit. Darwin Machis, the player from Granada. This doesn't seem likely. I don't know why many reports are saying that it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Right now, at least, number one, the player is injured. Number two, the
Oh
player is
God.
about $14 million. And America will not pay
We don't even have
$14
that.
million for Darwin Machis. Number three, Darwin Machis is, I think, a top three player for Granada. And with one day to go in the European transfer window, I don't think they can find a suitable replacement for him. Um, it just doesn't seem unlikely. If it does happen, it'll probably be the biggest transfer pulled in the recent years for America. But it just doesn't seem viable to guys. I'm sorry. It's a very interesting player. He is very fast, very versatile, something that we actually do need, and an interesting player. But at 29, injured, and around 12 to 14 million, it just doesn't seem likely for America. So that is all I have right now in terms of signings. There isn't really other other people in the radar. There was mentions of Leo Castro, from Colombia, but he's a 29-year-old striker, and we don't need another striker. So I kind of just throw that one out the window too. Hopefully, there's more signings in the coming days. Hopefully, we get more news. I really didn't feel like reporting the matches news because it was just guys, come on, it just wasn't. I come on, let's be honest here. So, hopefully with more viable news, I'll keep you guys updated at the Eagle Eye Podcast on Twitter. But that's all I have for you guys right now.
So Chris saying, so in other words, we're getting a player that'll either be Insan Rulde or Viñas. And then we have Alexis saying, Andy Rios, please. Oh, God. And then Dylan saying, Pedro Arce, please. The great return of Pedro Arce. Also, there's a Peruvian named Pacheco, which I guess was another heavy rumor, right? For at least a day. And then it
Yeah.
got flat after that.
Yeah.
We're selling a Copa MX title for money so we can get Machis. I lied.
Look,
No. Stop.
Look, America has about, and I'm just ballparking it here, maybe $6 million to play with. That doesn't buy you a lot. So, I mean, yeah, I expect some Insal Rul de Viñas type of transfers to come in. That's all we can afford.
So it seems like we're going for two. I don't know the caliber of the two, but it seems like we're going for two. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And look, I had promised you guys that nothing was going to happen. And technically, I've stuck into my word because we haven't really brought anyone in to replace kind of that, also wanted extranjero position before the end of the transfer window. But I do want to apologize, and I should have done better research. The transfer window doesn't close until when, Christian?
September 25th.
The day of the Clasico.
Oh, boy.
So
maybe we'll announce at the Clasico.
Oh, let's
God.
go.
No.
They make their debut in the Clasico as well. That'd be lovely.
Look, we are.
I was looking at this
I don't
today, and we need another one.
We do need another one.
Yeah.
But we need two foreigners to come in and do a really, really good job. But let's face it, right? I think America's just lost out on every one of their candidates. I mean, I was pretty much hoping and I had a little bit veladora prendida that it was gonna be Brian Ocampo. That completely just deteriorated.
Cristo Gonzalez.
Cristo, didn't even work either. It's terrible. Look, I don't know who America could definitely have in their radar. God, I hope it's not a Jurgen Damm. I really do hope it's not a Jurgen Damm. And I don't know. It's just, look, all we know is that Christian's going to be up to date and he's going to try to keep you guys informed as much as you can. So follow us on
I don't know how much
podcast.
of the transfer market I could take, man. I've been having a headache this past couple of days.
It's been hectic, man. And I'm reading some of the stuff. And I'm just like, oh God, please no. I don't really want to give it too much light, but it was brought to our attention the whole thing that Solari might leave by like December because Europe and I don't know what. I don't look.
False.
We can't look that far into the future. Let's just look, one cross, one
You saw the cross.
One game at a time. Cross. Yeah, it's because I saw Dylan saying Jurgen Damm crosses over Linus' crossing. They're both as bad.
They're both terrible. Yes,
they're both terribly bad.
One's got more speed than the other one. So I mean, hey.
Chris saying I'm just waiting for the Carlos Vela rumors, which I'm sure will. Someone will try to force that rumor.
Someone.
I swear I thought I saw someone try to force a Tecatito rumor.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
I was like, no. I was like, AC Milan offered what, like 10 mil, and freaking Porto was like, no, we want 18. I was like, first of all, we don't even have 10. So I don't know where you guys think we're gonna be able to get Tecatito.
Player swap plus cash considerations.
Yeah, no, it's bad. But look, again, we'll keep you guys up to date with anything that we hear. And again, Christian is going to be up to date, focused, and determined to find out who these next signings are going to be. I mean, if we're frustrated, can you imagine how Solari feels?
Yeah.
I mean, I get frustrated during the weekends just watching this America team play at times.
I'm sure he does too, because he's like, man, if I would have had so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, this is a different game.
Fuera bathrooms.
Yeah, well, hold up.
There you go.
There it is. Yeah, no, look, we'll see what happens. Chris saying Mbappe to America is probably his brother because I'm pretty sure he doesn't mean Killian. Um,
It's like Pogba, but it's like one of his brothers.
it's his brother. Oh God. I
What
mean,
does
we'll see.
Pogba played in the U.S.? Do you guys know that?
Yeah, in Atlanta United,
Any idea?
Hmm.
He was terrible.
he was really bad. But
Wait,
hey,
hold on. What if we actually get his brother to play at Club America? Would that open up his door for Paul Pogba to come in?
no, I don't think so. I mean, he'll show up to the stadiums. That's
The
for
two
sure.
brothers teaming up in the midfield? No,
Well, his brother's a defender.
Yeah,
he was defender. You're right. You're right. He was defender. You're right.
Yeah.
swap him with Emma Aguilera. Swap deal then.
I think I'd rather have Aguilera at this point.
Yeah,
Nah,
dude,
Bruno
Jesus
then.
Christ.
Too.
Because Aguilera could definitely take a penalty.
Oh heck yeah, of
Oh
course.
God. Well, I mean that does in regards to this segment, guys. And look, the cool thing about international break is we don't really have to preview a next upcoming match because there really isn't one to talk about. So there's one thing we do want to mention before we start wrapping up the podcast is that there's a Clasico upon us, AJ, next week. America versus Pumas for America Femenil. So if you guys want to catch that game, we and AJ are going to be previewing that in the upcoming podcast for our ladies. But also, the men's are going to be going up against Chivas in, I want to say what, this is the fourth edition of the Super Clasico in the United States or the third. Can't remember. But one thing is for sure. It's going to be this Sunday at the Cotton Bowl. If you guys are in Dallas, make sure you guys make your ways through. Tickets are still available. You guys can go check them out at ticketon.com. And you guys can go buy your tickets, get ready. Fan Festival looks like it's going to be popping. Moises Munoz is going to be a special guest. So we're going to try to get a couple words with him since he speaks English. And we are going to be there as well. As far as it's only going to be myself because, of course, AJ is going to be too busy with the ladies, and then Christian, of course, he is going to be busy with the bookies, trying to make sure we bet the house on whatever game Mexico is going to be playing. And our beloved Cowboy, well, he is on vacation, and so he will be unfortunately absent for this. But we will be going to the Cotton Bowl this Sunday. I'll be flying out. So if you guys see me at the Fan Festival, make sure you guys stop by, say hi. We'd love to put you guys in our blog. We are going to start doing more daily blogs as to what we do whenever it comes to covering games. And yeah, that's what we're going to be kind of looking forward to. So if you guys have the opportunity to go, we are definitely going to be there. We're excited. These games are always fun, especially for the fans here in the United States who don't really get much of America. And it should be an interesting one. Gentlemen, who do you think will most likely get the most minutes in this game? Obviously, knowing that all the internationals will not be present, but I'm curious to see who do you guys want to be featured?
Oscar Jimenez.
Oscar Jimenez will definitely
Chucho
get
Lopez.
some minutes. Chucho Lopez will definitely get some minutes.
And
AJ, I'll
obviously
try to take as
Federico
much.
Viñas.
Federico Viñas is for me the one player I'm truly wanting to see get some minutes out there. I hope he goes at least 75 minutes.
Yeah, for real, man.
The
Madrigal.
man needs it.
Madrigal.
I'm curious to see Karel.
Most
I
definitely.
want to see Karel.
Carol Campos.
Carol Campos.
And
Instead of Carol G, it's gonna be Carol C.
Madrigal, yes. Vinas.
Osuna most likely will get some minutes.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt. He's definitely getting.
So look,
Damn,
there's still
son.
some players. Fidalgo
Damn,
will be
son.
up there.
Damn, son.
Oh, APG.
Fernando Tapia.
Oscar Jimenez over Guillermo Ochoa. I see. Nope, can't do that. But oh, my bad. But yeah, we'll be out there. Look, there's gonna be still some really good players at our disposal, and I think, like you mentioned, Christian, earlier in the episode, you said it. I think this is a game where Solari is gonna try to kind of feel out who's gonna be more or less, available for this team, and who could potentially fight for a starting 11 spot, right?
Right.
It's gonna be curious as to see how he works it. And look, these games are always fun. It's more about the atmosphere than exactly what's played out on the pitch, but it always helps whenever it's a good game. So again, we'll be covering that game live for you guys. You guys don't want to miss it. Sunday morning is gonna be the Fan Festival. Sunday afternoon it's going to be the game. You guys don't want to miss it. Cotton Bowl, Dallas. Get ready for another Super Clasico. So let's see how that one goes. Chris saying, how many damn stadiums are you going to be at this year? I don't know. But the point is, we are here to give you guys as much content as possible. And the fact that we get to travel because of you guys would means the world to us. So thank you for giving us the opportunity. And again, we're going to be working hard at that. So Christian's actually going to go, he's going with the bookies, not to the bookies. So
Yeah. Me and the bookies go way back.
Yeah, very much way back. Chris saying, I ain't say that, shaking my head. You didn't, but look, I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. And I have not been able to read properly. And AP Junior saying, hear me out, but he's putting in the work when he gets playing time. So Oscar Jimenez over Guillermo Ochoa. Look, I'll give it to you, AP, because you're at least putting in the effort. So yes, I'll give it to you just for today. For this game, yeah, I'll give it to you. Oscar over Ochoa, because Ochoa's gonna be too busy trying to save Mexico's butt from potentially a disaster in a World Cup qualifying game. So with that said, gentlemen, prediction for the game on Sunday against Chivas. What are you guys going with? A bold game? A dull tie? What are you guys going with?
3-1 America.
That's bold. AJ?
3-2. Want to see a goal fest.
3-2?
Sukachi, we can finally score 3 goals. So,
God damn it. I think it's going to be a 1-1.
1-1.
It's going to be a typical Solari game. It's a 1-1. It's going to be a 1-1. But, I mean, hey, either way, like I mentioned, it's more about the game in the stands. Chris saying it's going to be a 5-0 game to America.
oh,
Hell
Jesus,
yeah,
I would love that.
Here.
I would love that, to be honest, but we'll see. Chris, if America does end up winning 5-0, we will get you a commemorative Foot Cult merchandise kit. I don't know. We'll do something if America ends up winning 5-0 on Sunday. But gentlemen, that pretty much does it for me. Do you guys have anything else before we wrap it up?
Man, just thank you everyone for coming out, listening to us. It's Monday night. It's nice to just sit down and talk America for a little bit, hang out with you guys, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
Definitely next week and the start of September, which again is going to be the start of a lot of important games for America.
Wait, hold
Not
on.
only do we have
next week because it's kind of Labor Day,
it's Labor Day, man.
Oh,
Actually, no, I don't think we'll back on Monday. I think we'll back Tuesday because I'm flying in on Monday, so I don't think I'll have
you're
access.
gonna be tired.
So,
You're gonna be tired.
no, I'm gonna be in a plane while we're while the podcast. So we'll see. We'll be back on Tuesday though. We'll be ready to talk Mazatlan. We'll be able to talk hopefully transfer updates.
Hopefully,
right?
Hopefully,
fingers crossed. So we'll have to wait and see. But again, like Christian said, nothing better than a Monday night talking all things Águilas. And AJ, anything else to add?
Free Chucho Lopez. That's all I want to say.
Free Chucho Lopez. I don't know, man.
Free him.
The man's free enough. He's fine. He's doing his thing. But all right, that does it for us. Like Christian mentioned, thank you again for everyone that came out today, for everyone that's been listening to us, for everyone that's been going out and, showing your guys' love and support for the podcast. We really, truly appreciate it. And, we try to work as hard as possible for all of you guys. So again, thank you to all of you guys. Thank you to Christian. Thank you to AJ. Thank you to Dylan for working behind the scenes. And thank you to everyone that, putting in their shift for all of this. So thank you again. And as always, you guys have a wonderful night. Stay safe out there. Get some rest. Hydrate. Whatever you need to do. Make sure you guys always remember one thing. Arriba America. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was another production of the Eagle Eye Podcast, the #1 source for all things Club America in English. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Eagle Eye Podcast and get all the latest news and coverage. And subscribe to our podcast wherever it is you may